Hello, folks. Koku here, and I have a very important message. So, I know I gave a content warning at the very beginning of the series for things that would be happening in this particular game, but considering what happens in this episode, I especially feel the need to give another warning. Pretty much the entirety of this episode is recounting the fate of the children who were originally killed, and it goes on for a long time. Like, we have a little bit of dialogue between our three characters here before it jumps into that, but otherwise, yeah, I don't want to give too much details for those people who want to remain unspoiled, but it does get very intense, and there is a lot of screaming from the Japanese voice actors. So I just really want you guys to proceed with caution if you are sensitive to torture and gore and children being in terrible, terrible situations. Do not worry, I will give a synopsis of everything that is revealed in this episode, since it is incredibly important exposition in the next episode, but please proceed with caution. Thank you, and take care of yourself.
Hive mind.
To be fair, it was that Let's Play that brought me into the Phoenix Wright fan base. So, if anything, that's your fault.
I mean, yes, I did.
How did?
ちょっと違うけど。
Yeah, something like that.
どっちもこいつの本音ってわけか。
So what you're saying is, this little girl and that creepy little girl we met. Why do you have to make the okay? Are two sides of the same coin? She's like, what did you say, Pitch?
他の生きてるみんなも
Come at me.
I could still fling you against that wall and you would die in a second.
I feel for you. I really do. So please, please, bring the rest of them back.
持田くんや先生たちも連れてきてあげて。
Mochida, Miss Yue, and everyone else too. Bring them all back home.
He just turns around and he's like, oh my god, I get it. You like him better than me.
できるんでしょ
Come on, you can do it, right?
もうそれは無理だと思います。
I don't think that's possible anymore.
どうして
Oh, come on.
Why not?
あの
Because plot.
たくさんの無関係
These closed spaces
過ぎました。
have eaten a lot of innocent souls. Far too many, in fact.
あそこで死んだ人たちの恨みの念が
The grudges of those who died there
満員
filled
だと
every last corner of them. There's no room left.
行き場をなくした悲しい
And because the agony and pain has nowhere else to go,
すべてわずかに残った理性を
it's begun feeding on the minds of souls like us who are bound there.
私だって
It won't be long
生きている人を
before I turn back into a vengeful spirit who attacks people like you without mercy.
あなたも味方してくれなくなるのね
So, we're going to lose you as an ally then.
だったらなおさら急がなきゃ
So why don't you just hurry up and bring them home right now?
I think she would have done that if she
自
could.
分たちを助ける方法
Yeah.
はないの
Also, that's a little inconsiderate. Oh, you're gonna lose your mind, who cares? Just do this thing.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Isn't there any other way for us to save Mochida and the others?
You know there's like 7 other names you could say.
Mochida, 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 and Mochida. I know.
He just walks home. He just walks home. He's done. He is so done. There may be one way.
どうするんだよ
What is it?
お兄さんも知っている方法です。あの場所へ戻って。
I think you already know. You have to return to the closed spaces. God damn it.
小学校の児童4名誘拐殺害事件被害者の
Find all 4 of us Heavenly House serial kidnapping and murder victims,
みんなを成仏させてくれ
and
る
put us all to rest. Then the closed spaces won't have their cogs anymore, so they begin to fall apart.
そうすればもしかしたら
You just might get your friends back. The ones who survived. You lost 2.
また戻るのかよ
You expect us to go back? I mean, I wouldn't, but the guilt would hurt me for years. And this time, instead of having just one person left to appease, to go back to the drawing board and appease all 4 of you. To be fair, he did 3 already, so...
Well, I think that's what he's getting at. Since they're all going to revert to back to what they were, they have to do it all over again. And get the 4th
Yeah.
one at this time as well.
Is the 4th one... Sachi?
I'm gonna guess. Why couldn't you tell us the reason our previous efforts weren't good enough? What is there to hide? I'm still just really confused as to why she's here at all. She didn't die.
Yeah.
Like, other than her never being able to get past this trauma.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I can think of.
それは
It's just
思い出したくないんです。
something I don't want to remember. But
どうしても知りたいのなら
if you really want to know, I'll
あの
tell
時
you.
のこと
Tell you everything that happened.
Yuki's spirit gently took hold of Ayumi's hand, and in an instant, their 2 beings seemed to merge together into a single mind. What's going on?
Brace yourself, you're going on a trip.
It hurts. It hurts.
Were we not going to talk about the gaping maw of angry spirits?
Nah, they're fine. Don't mind them.
It's just there in the corner.
どうなったの
Sherb says be prepared.
Oh boy, am I gonna have to do some running? Oh, what happened to me?
Sherb emotionally, or like in Coco's case, physically.
意識がある
Didn't I pass out? So why am I fully aware right now?
Saying you'll see does not make me feel better.
体が動かない
She says emotionally.
Oh, okay. I can't see a thing. And I can't move.
なんか疲れた時になる金縛りみたい
Like that feeling you get when you're really tired. Sleep paralysis, I think. Uh-oh. Oh dear.
She's getting a vision.
ここは
Oh, is she going to experience it? Oh, she is. Where?
体が動かない
Why can't I move?
I'm not okay.
犯行現場で唯一生き残った
And now we're
赤い
here.
ワンピースの女児篠崎幸子
Hachiko Shinozaki. The little girl in the red dress and the only survivor of the horrific murders that occurred in the Heavenly Host Elementary School.
幸子の家族は事件後、怯えるように他県へ移っていったとされている。
Following the incident, Sachiko's family fled from the area, moving to another prefecture to escape the frightful memories that remained here.
驚いたことに、この篠崎家についての記述はこの事柄以外。
Strangely, however, I've been excuse me,
You're good.
I've been unable to locate any of the records of the Shinozaki family.
当時の書類や文献のどこを見ても何を見ても見当たれない。
No matter where I look, the only information I can find. I just ruined the moment. I'm sorry.
You're good.
You take over the reading.
No matter where I look, the only information I can find about them comes from newspaper reports on the Heavenly Host murders.
惨劇の舞台となった学校や
Granted,
現役
when an
校長の
elementary
嫡男による
I'm
凄
gonna wait.
惨な犯行。
When an elementary school becomes a stage for a grisly incident such as this, perpetrated by none other than the principal's son. Hello, Binks.
Hello, Binks. Thank you.
そのスキャンダラスな
Did you go and come to just say happy birthday, or are you gonna stay for the scares? Come for the cocoa, stay for the scares. It stands to reason that the scandal would serve as a primary focus of public interest, with all their details fading into the background.
この小さな生存者
How
の
dare you,
調書は
Bing? If we
おろ
have
そ
to
かに
sit
なった
through
ので
this
はと予
fear,
想したが
so
そ
should
うで
you.
はなかった。
She's trying very hard to get through the letter. Leave her alone.
The letter. Okay, the letter's pretty scary. But this one is worse, I would say. Personally speaking, I say the letter's not that scary once you're used to it. So, of course, after learning that Sachiko was safe, further news of her whereabouts was largely ignored in favor of the media circus surrounding the school. But Binks, this is pixelated,
幸子の
and
そ
there's
の
only
後をたどる
pixelated
ことが
corpses,
できなかったのだ。
unlike the letter where they're fully fleshed out. Ha! Get it? Flesh. But there's more to it than that. People weren't just uninterested about learning of Sachiko's history or whereabouts. There simply was no data to be had. Fab, try to stop me. I say bad jokes. Oh, come on, why is this fully rendered? Oh, no.
I can't move my body because of sleep paralysis, I guess. I can clearly see the room I'm in now.
私の他に男の子が一人、女の子が二人。
There's one boy and two girls in here aside from myself.
顔に見覚えがある。
I recognize them.
みんな、あの犯人に殺された天神さんの子供たちだ。まだ生きている。
Vap, if she did that, I would laugh so hard.
They're the children who were killed in Heavenly Host during that incident. But they're still alive.
けど、私を含め
I got an alert.
みんな
Apparently, Slime Rancher is going to be free starting March 7th to the 12th, 21st.
Oh. Play that game if you haven't, it's fun. Unfortunately, they're all bound hand and foot, and just sprawled out on the floor. And so am I.
I was so hoping she would like get a third-person camera of the action, but no. He's looking through the eyes of the girl who is holding her hand. Yes, Morishige is definitely the main protagonist.
Yeah! Who doesn't recognize
favorite-
gory breast meat?
My favorite nickname for him is Meat Boy. I 100% suggest you just watch all the past streams. Feel so good. It leaves you with such a warm, tingly feeling in the belly.
Yeah, like butterflies. That's the real reason I can't move.
Oh, thank God I went back to Pixels.
Somebody, please save me! No, stop! No, please, no!
Binks came at the perfect time.
He's gonna take her eye out.
I don't want.
Oh,
not-
oh
I don't-
god. Oh god. Is there gonna be a CG for this?
I don't want it. I'm just gonna cover it with the chat.
No, I
Here.
can't be.
目隠しをされ何も見えない。
Now I'm blindfolded. I can't see a thing that's happening to me.
手足も縛られてるから目隠しを取ることもできない。
And since my hand and feet are tied up, I can't remove the blindfold either.
こうしていると恐怖は余計に倍増する。
That just makes everything so much worse.
耳が
Unless you're into that, but this is not the time nor place.
I guess because I can't see, I begin to listen more intently.
周りの子たちのおえつの声が狭い部屋に反響して私も恐怖で頭が割れそうになる。
The helpless cries of the other children echo off the walls of the cramped room. I'm so scared. It feels like my head's going to explode.
何するのよ。どうして目隠し
I'm so glad I can't hear this.
What are you doing to me? Why am I blindfolded?
ねえ離して。もう足ほどいてよ。
Untie me! Cut the ropes! I want to be able to use my hands and feet. Please!
ねえ
Please!
何度も叫んだけど男は私から離れていった。
I kept begging and pleading, but I heard the response was the man walking away from me.
順番って何？
In order?
Yeah, this is not fun. I'm so glad I can't hear this.
人間の声とは思えない凄まじい音波のような叫び声。端っこにいた男の子だ。
I've never heard screaming like this before. It's pure, primal terror, cutting through the air like a perfect sine wave. It's the boy at the end.
それが永遠と続く。今まさに殺されてるんだ。
Feels like he's been screaming for an eternity. I think he's being killed right now.
なんてこと。なんてこと。
My god, what the hell is he doing to him?
こんな残酷な目に遭ってるのに。
No one deserves this.
なぜせめて早く神様は意識を奪ってあげないの。
Why isn't God allowing him to fall unconscious so he doesn't have to suffer?
Bye, Binks.
Bye, Binks.
You're free to leave. In all honesty. Like, if I could skip this in real life, I would.
It's been at least half an hour now.
何度も何度も繰り返し絞り出された男の子の叫び声は
Those inhuman screams of a young boy being ripped apart from the inside
とうとう聞こえなくなった。
have finally come to a halt.
髪入れずに女の子の悲鳴が上がる。これももはや
Without even a single moment of silence. The first of the girls in line is the next to scream for her life. And the symphony goes on.
Please don't make us go through all 4. I can't hear it and I'm uncomfortable. Yeah, I think this was the main reason I didn't keep playing this game by myself. I'm very uncomfortable with
Children being hurt.
that and, you know, the mental image of evisceration.
God, I can't take any more of this. I'm losing my mind. Stop it, stop it, stop it!
Well, this scene is longer than it should be.
まだ終わらない。早く。
Is it still going on? Just die already.
早く。
Die already.
何を望んでるんだろう。
God, what is wrong with me?
わからないけど、とにかく早く楽にしてあげて。
You know what? I don't care. Just get it over with and leave me in peace.
やがてゴンと何か重いものが落ちる音がして
Finally,
静かになった。
after hearing a sound like a heavy object being dropped, the noises stopped. The room grew quiet again.
Oh my.
We are next, I think.
Yeah, we're third in line.
大きくなる足音。
You know, Coco, I would totally be okay with you just hitting the buttons and just keep going.
Let's do this. Those footsteps are getting closer. If you legitimately like want to check out for now, I can message you once it's over.
No, I'm good. Believe me, I'm fine. It's just like I can sit through this. Fine. Just like if this was like a video I was watching, I would skip over this. It's fine. Don't worry about me.
All my hair standing on end at this point.
Because at this point, it's just torture porn.
一瞬にして下痢になったようなおか。
Everything below my stomach feels like it's frozen. Like I've suddenly been stricken with severe diarrhea.
順番。私は何を安心しているんだろう。
In order.
隣の子が死んだら次は。
God, why am I relieved by the silence? The kid next to me just died.
私の番じゃない。
Which means it's my turn now!
髪の毛をつかまれ、頭をグイッと持ち上げられる。
Someone's got me by the hair. They're pulling my head up
同時に目隠しを取られると、犯人の顔が
and taking off my blindfold,
見え
which
た。
means I get to see the face of my killer.
天神小学校の開校当初から閉鎖されていた地下室で行方不明だった児童たちの
The 4 missing children were found in a basement room at Heavenly Host Elementary School, unused and unofficially sealed since the building's construction.
亡骸が発見された時の現場はまさに賛美極まる
When authorities entered, they were greeted with an inhumanly horrific sight.
鑑識の調査の結果、凶器は逮捕
Based upon the evidence at hand, the murder weapon was determined to be a pair of large sewing scissors found in the hands of the accused. I'm actually not okay with it being another hey, this person who's mentally ill is a murderer thing.
Yep.
I wasn't gonna bring it up before, but because I thought it was gonna be like, hey, it's a red herring, but now it's just like, it's clear.
Yeah.
But I feel like, I
feel there is still more that we're missing. But
yeah, because I feel like the person with the scissors was coerced into this somehow by outside forces. But like as of right now, I'm like, this isn't cool. Investigators suspected some hesitation on the man's part However, as the deceased victim's wounds did not indicate that his full strength has been used,
殺意を持って犯行に及んだことは確実であった
nonetheless, he had clearly acted with extreme malicious intent.
公式発表では児童たちの死因は舌を
The official cause of death for the 3 murdered children
とされていたが
has been listed as loss of blood following removal of the tongue.
実際にはもっとむごたらしい凶行が行われていた
But the actual state of affairs was not quite so clinical, nor even so pleasant, if you can believe it.
以下は規制によりメディアで報道されていない殺害の手口
The following details have been extrapolated from information previously unreleased to the public, or at least previously reported by the news outlets.
現場で惨劇を目撃した幸子の証言に基づいている
These details of the crime are based on the official police testimony of Sachiko Shinozaki herself.
手足を縛られ目隠しをされた被害者たちは
Evidently, the victims were bound, blindfolded, and faced out floor,
順番に殺されていった
then killed one by one.
一人はハサミで腹部をめった刺しにされた
One was repeatedly stabbed in the
臓器を抜
abdomen
き取られ
with the aforementioned pair of scissors, then had many of his internal organs forcefully dug out.
臓器は地下室の土床に粗雑に埋められた
His discarded innards were found partially buried beneath the earthen floor.
一人はハサミで数十回にもわたって砲
Another
を
was
刺さ
stabbed in the head dozens
力
upon
の
dozens of
額が
times,
ちぎれ死亡
to such an extent all flesh and bone above her jawline was essentially minced away.
目隠しを剥ぎ取られ
And we're back.
With my blindfold removed,
私の目の前にさらされた光景は想像を絶していた
the sight that appeared before me was more horrific than anything I could possibly have imagined.
血まみれの大きなハサミを手に私を見下ろしていたのは
The person
さっきの
staring
大
back
男
at
では
me,
なく
brandishing a blood-soaked pair of sewing scissors, wasn't the large man from earlier at all.
Oh,
捕らえられていた子供たちの一人
Okay. It was one of the children.
huh.
返り血で顔が真っ赤に染まった小さな女の子だった
Okay. Maybe we spoke a little too soon.
We don't know that.
True, they could still pull something with her having some sort of... We'll see. It was a little girl. Her face dyed red with the blood of her victims.
Now we know why she's here.
Yep.
正気のない灰色の目でじっと私の目を見据え
He was staring intently at me with soulless gray eyes, and then...
ケタケタと
Oh, hi.
した
she just started giggling. He was opening and closing the bloodied scissors over and over again, and the sound kept echoing through the room.
その錆びてボロボロになった血まみれの切っ先は
Then she took those dull, rusty, thoroughly blood-soaked blades
スーッと私の目に向けられた
and slowly brought them closer and closer to my left eye. How? Why? Why is it you?
Oh yeah, Hello Charlotte had a fair bit of meat in it, didn't it, as well, didn't it? I think I repressed that.
一人はハサミで眼球を何度も刺された上に
The third victim was stabbed in the left eye, an indeterminate number of times,
スープのように潰れた目玉をえぐり
until her eyeball
苦
became
しみ抜いた末に
soup-like in
失
consistency.
血死に至る
She was eventually just left like that, slowly bleeding to death in horrible agony.
その後、なぜか犯人は
Strangely,
3人の遺体か
it
ら
was only after
舌を
these
挟み
mutilations
殺害
had
している。
already been inflicted that the killer went back and severed the victims' tongues.
執筆している私も胸の悪くなる。
Learning the truth
まさに
about these
悪魔の所業だ。
proceedings is shocking, even to me, and it makes it nearly impossible to accept the murderer as anything but a monster.
以上3人が惨殺される中、唯一生き残った少女、幸子。保護された後、
And bearing witness to every moment of it was a 7-year-old girl named Sachiko. In many ways, she is the most pitiable and long-suffering of them all.
泣きじゃくる彼女の証言から追及が
Did we ever find out who was compiling these notes?
Someone named Kibiki.
Okay,
Ko
But it was
Kibiki, I think.
okay. But it was through a tearful, frightened testimony that Yoshizaku Yanagihori, wow, that's a mouthful of a name, was officially charged.
言い換えるなら、彼を犯人確定に追い込んだ張本人である。彼女に
Now
は
going back to the hunt for information on this unfortunate girl's whereabouts, it was her words that ultimately led to Yoshikazu's sentencing.
自宅の所在も
I'll get it
家
eventually.
族構成も一切の記録が残っていない。
Therefore, it comes as no real surprise that sensitive information pertaining to her and her family would be withheld. That's to be expected.
というより、はっきり言えば、
What's not
存在
expected,
していた
however,
痕跡が
is
全
that
く
there's
ない。
not even the slightest trace of this information left to find. It's as if it simply never existed.
ここからは仮説になる。
I'm wondering, did she have something to do with that?
Did she have... I mean, I'm kind of getting the impression that maybe she was already dead at the time of this happening and she's just a very violent spirit?
I mean, the thing is, like, maybe that's it, but why would she have a physical body? And, like, everyone knew who she was.
That's true.
Like, I don't think that this would be reported without the school saying, yeah, she's a student here.
They can... I mean, spirit guests can get pretty powerful, though, and that they create this illusion that... I mean... I'm starting to lean more that, yeah, she was a real person, but... Especially in a lot
Like-
of sort of Japanese myths.
Clearly this is a situation of she is extremely smart for her age, but she's one of those people that has like a violent streak and doesn't understand the morality of it, and can't connect the dots when it comes to morality and life and stuff like that. So she's just sadistic.
Could be.
And she just roped that janitor into it and managed to make sure that he got the blame instead.
Alright, though, that remembered that she wasn't part of Heavenly Host.
Oh. Maybe you're right, and she is a ghost. Food for thought. Therefore, I cannot help but consider alternate possible explanation, and I remind you, this is mere conjecture.
吉和の犯行なのか。
Did they confirm what school it was? Because if they confirmed the school, then it also confirms that she was alive.
I don't remember.
But one question keeps nagging at the back of my mind. Was Yoshikazu Yanagihori really the murderer of the 3 victims?
児童たちを殺害したのは、
Is it possible this crime was not actually perpetrated by him at all?
後期の
So the
吉和
4
は
would be the 3
言葉による
kids
他人とのコンタクト
and the
が不自
guy.
由だったとはいえ、
Yeah.
And then the murderer would be Sachi.
Yeah.
Oh, that means that like weird blood message in the beginning was the principal's son. I'm not saying his name specifically because I can't say it. I'm trying to put dots together. But that doesn't explain why that writer girl is there. Or why that other murderer student is also here. Oh well, questions for a later time. Think about it. In his final days, Yoshikazu was incapable of communicating with others through speech.
基本的にはおとなしく、
Despite his childlike reversion, he'd always been a personable and friendly man. As the saying goes, he wouldn't have hurt a fly. All his relatives, friends, and neighbors confirmed as much, shocked to hear that such a kindly man could commit these unconscionable atrocities. He certainly had no motive for the crime either. There was nothing for him to gain from it. Then again, he may simply have lost his mind. Look at his father. It was around the same time that the principal, Takamine Yanagihori, suddenly began speaking tongue, acting in a most peculiar way. Or the school's haunted and cursed. Not to mention scribbling incomprehensible gibberish all over his walls, as if possessed. He seemed frightened of someone and would often be found crouching in the corner of the office, moaning, thrashing, when visitors came by. If he could wind up in such a beleaguered state, no warning, then perhaps so too could his son. Please don't bring us back. I believe we're looking at a curse far more powerful than anything man could devise. From the time it opened its doors, the day it closed them forever. Heavenly Host Elementary School, sealed basement room, has existed as some form of cursed ground. I'm just gonna cover my screen while I read that text. From the underlying cause, we must go back beyond the infamous kidnapping and murder incident. Back a whole 20 years. I believe I may have found a clue that could shed some light into the situation. It may be a bit far-fetched as leads go, but it's a lead nonetheless. Regrettably, its heavenly host not only closed down, but demolished altogether. Another school built in its place. It's no longer possible to investigate the basement room directly. I know this guy's like a journalist or something, but I feel like if this was like in the modern day, he'd be like one of those Ghost Hunter show people.
Oh, sorry.
That's fine. He said something about his protege carrying on his work. Something that could make the impossible possible once more. Preparations are being made to pursue this lead, even now. Could this guy be the mentor of the paranormal specialist student?
Possibly.
Be sure not to miss the next installment. It may be a scoop of a lifetime.
I think you might be right.
Ko Kibiki, 2003. June 22nd? July. Whoops.
Continued in Chapter 5.
That was so heavy.
Oh, yes.
I am tired.
Yeah. I actually think I'll go ahead and end it right here. Since it's a good spot, we won't really be able to make that much more progress in 20 minutes.
Okay, thank you.
Yeesh.
I feel so bad for Ayumi.
I feel bad for Binks.
I mean, she's not here anymore.
She came in, was traumatized, and ran out.
I mean, okay, her staying was her choice. She could have come in, said hi, said happy birthday, and then, when I started poking her and prodding her, being like, hey, you can stay, because, you should go through with us. She could have been like, nah, and then left. She chose to stay for, 10 extra minutes. That's on her. That's on her.
I take no responsibility for traumatizing her. No.
Hey, we cannot be responsible for the choices of the viewers. They come here to be entertained and we say, hey, if you want to leave, you can leave. She didn't leave until it got real bad.
Alright then. Well, thank you everyone for coming on by. Thank you for all the birthday wishes. We will continue this Thursday at 8 p.m. EST with Corpse Party. Have a good night, everyone.
Good night. Watch something happy. This was a really heavy one.
Oh, yeah.
And Vap, why watching this at 3 a.m.? Bye-bye.
It's only 4 tick. Let me just mash these guys into oblivion, it's fine. I'll let him attack. Nope. Alright. Whatever, you're just gonna be purple. Tasty water. Please give me something good. Yeah, I forgot. I asked for literally the last item. Oh. Wow, he's really drained. I guess a 4 tick is kind of serious, isn't it? By the way, if you put items up on the active item bar, they do not like go into like a little separate inventory. It's just like that. It's all still in your inventory. Like the regular one. Whee! Down the hole. I don't know if status stuff carries over, so I'm gonna go and leave. See if it's still on J, and then we'll get like poison potion stuff, antidote, whatever. Doesn't look like his status is still there. You know what? It'll be my luck that it is. So let's just go buy some more. Oh my god, I forgot what it's like to run places because I'm usually so lazy and I just use this. Felt weird watching Toan running in a map. Just buy a couple. I don't have any more room! Hooray! Oh, I wanted to sell that. I don't need it. I don't like using items.